Hi everyone, it's Lillian here from Monday Night Stamping, and I'm so glad you can be with us here tonight. It is a gorgeous day here. It feels like spring is in the air, and in fact I heard the Canadian geese honking overhead, and I saw them flying as well. They were looking for a pond to land in, and the pond we saw, the ice was still on it, although it's getting quite a bit thinner, and it looks like it won't be on for very much longer. So welcome. My name is Lillian. I'm with Stampers Niche, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you from Alberta, Canada. So yes, that's why the Canadian geese, although I've seen them other places in the world too. And today's date is March the 18th, which has been a big date in Stampin' Up! World because we as demonstrators, if we weren't at the big convention that happened last week, we got to see the new catalog online, and I'm just saying, I'm drooling. I'm so excited. I just can't wait for it to come and get my hands on the hard copy. So good things coming in store for you, and just all kinds of good stuff happening in the Stampin' Up! World right now. But before I go down to my desktop, I know that some of you are experiencing spring in different ways. So go down and just, as I go down, pardon me, in the comments, make sure you say hi or where you're from, but also share what's a sign of spring where you are, or what's a sign of spring to you, because what's a sign of spring to me might be different to somebody else. So drop that comment in the comment section while I'm going down to my desktop and getting set up. And I love how you chat back and forth, and the community we've got here, it's just super. So let's see, trying to get this thing in the right position. I always have it all set up beforehand, but then it does its own thing, it seems like. So what is for you a sign of spring, or what is the sign of spring in your area of the world? And those of you who are watching, at least say hi or give us a thumbs up or something so that we know you're here, and that would be wonderful. Okay, I'm going to leap right in to, just as soon as I get the screen up so I can see all your comments. Sign of spring was the pair of geese. Yes, I'm seeing the geese too and hearing them. Robins, yeah, the crows do come with the robins, but we will go with the robins. So let's hear what are some other signs of spring. My sister lives out at the coast, and they mowed their lawn today because they're having a very nice warm weather spell as well. So we're not mowing the lawn. Our back lawn faces north, so the snow is always the last to leave there because it's quite shaded, but we can see a lot of the lawn now, so just a little bit of snow there on the corners. So let's get started, all right? So we're going to be playing with the Filled with Happiness set tonight. Now, many of you know that I have a class with this. In fact, the registration for the class ends tomorrow, and I'll talk more about that later. But I have been having a lot of fun with this. This is a stamp set that you can find in the mini catalog on page 35. So it is right here. It covers a lot of occasions, but what I didn't grasp at first was how versatile it was and how much fun it is to play with. So I want to do sort of a step it up card tonight and just share some potential with you, I guess you could say. So this is the stamp set that we're playing with, and we're going to start with a very basic piece of cardstock. So we've got 5.5 by 8.5 scored down the middle, so we've got a card front, and we could bring in and just stamp. You could use whatever color you wanted, but you could stamp it in that color, and very simply that could be a card. But we're going to step it up a little bit more. We can take it and stamp on here on another layer, Oh, I am seeing things about tulips coming up. Ooh, fun. So we could step it up just by putting one more layer there. And even that makes it a little bit more special. But what about if we added color to that layer? So I started to color it just a little bit so you wouldn't have to watch me color the whole thing. And for the leaves, I went with Parakeet Party. Parakeet Party is one of the colors that's retiring, and it's one that I love. Luckily, Lemon Lime Twist is similar, but if you have Parakeet Party in your stash, make sure you've got the re-inker extra cardstock. All of the in colors will sell out quickly, the 22 to 24 ones. So what I just did is I put a little splotch of the dark in, and then I'm bringing in the light, and that way I get a bit of shaded there, like that. And that's how I colored in the leaves with Parakeet Party. And then for the bird, I am coloring in with Pool Party, because I'm actually going to be using another retiring in color, Starry Sky, but I don't have the Starry Sky markers, so I went with one that I thought went well. And the way I like to use the blends is I like to do the dark first and then come in with the light. I used to do it opposite, and so there's no right or wrong way. It's whatever works for you. But I like to have the dark there and then go back and sort of pull it out, and then you can color in circles and color in just like that. Now, if you thought, well, I wish I had a spot that showed a little bit more of a highlight, you can bring in your color lifter and just highlight, just swish it a little bit there. Now, it doesn't look like it did a thing, but as it dries, it will lighten up there and look like the sun kissed it there a little bit. So we can do that. We could even bring in Wink of Stella and add a little bit of shine. To wherever you want. With Wink of Stella, I can end up coloring the whole thing. So I will just stop there. But you get the idea. So now we've got color here. So we can switch this out. Put that over there. And bring this in. And now we've stepped it up that much more. Now we can add a layer, a colored layer. So if I add, isn't that a gorgeous rich color? That's Starry Sky. I'm going to be so sad to see it go. And I've added just a thin border, and already it's taking on more dimension. But what if I wanted to, if you're fortunate enough to have a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, what if you want to emboss it? So I thought, a nice safe embossing folder would be the Time Worn Type, or we could go with the layered florals, which I'm a bit addicted to right now. So you tell me, which embossing folder would you like me to use, the layered florals or the Time Worn Type? So drop me a message, let me know which one you want me to use, and I will bring my embossing Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in, and we'll get it set up. So Time Worn Type, okay, Time Worn Type it is. Whoops. So bring in my machine, and I have got platform 1. Time Worn Type is hands down. Excellent. Then I'm going to put the piece that we colored into the Time Worn Type right here, and I'm going to line it up with that black line so it's straight. Now, just while I'm doing this, and then I'm bringing in plate number 4, what do you like to color with? Do you like the blends, which I just used? Do you like the markers? Do you like the watercolor pencils? Or do you use a blending pen, which we haven't used for a while? I should maybe use that again soon. So what do you like to to color with? Do you like to use one of the watercolor painters. Ooh, good choice, folks. That's a lovely choice, just like that. Blends are your favorite. Karen, you know what? I wasn't much of a colorer until the blends came out, and now I thoroughly enjoy it because they color so easily and you can add so much dimension. But I've seen beautiful things with the pencil crayons too and with the markers. So it really, I think, depends what you like. So now we've got that. We've stepped it up like that. I'm not going to fasten it to the card yet. And now what we could step this up one more way. So one of the things that is so neat about this set is this punch coordinates. It's called the Modern Oval. I know it's out of stock right now, but it's coming back in. So look at this. If I slide it in, I can punch out that central image. Or something else that's in the set is this, and you can punch that out too. So what if I punched this out, and I've got that done right here. And there you go. We could bring that in, and we can put that on dimensionals and give it even, well, you can see I did another color on the back. So you don't have to just stamp in black. You can black color, stamp in whatever you want. And we'll just take the backings off there. Oh, I meant to do something else before. I meant to leave the backings on. I'm just going to rest it. All right. So we have got that, and you can see the dimension now. And I'm going to just rest it on the card front. Now look at how much it has changed, right? So I'm going to take this off because I wanted to show you something else here. Put that on my silicone mat so that it doesn't stick to anything. I'm just going to keep this here again for a little bit. So now I could also have done one of the other images. So this is also in the set. And so there I can change this. Look, it nestles right in there beautifully. So it gives a totally different look. Isn't that neat? I just love it. So, and then what you can do is you can take the punch. So what you've seen, I punched this out. I have what I call my punch book, and I have my punches in here. And I went through the catalog. And where's the catalog here? I meant to have it. And I just went through and looked at some of the images or the words, and I thought, okay, what will fit in that side, that punch? And I went through, so the little guy smiling with the pizza would fit. And remember, a punch can go the other way, so I could, whoops, can't see that, can you? So I could go like that, or have part of that. So you can go through and just experiment. It doesn't take any time at all to go through and look for some other images. So let's take this off and see what else I found. So you know I've been crazy all year about the zoo friends. So my little zoo friend guy, he fits in there. Sure, he's missing some of his body, but he fits in there. So that would be one. So I haven't put these on dimensionals. My Dainty Delight flowers, or any flowers, you could do that, and once they're on dimensionals they stand out a little bit better. And then there's this one here like that. So you could put whatever you want in there. I saw one card during celebration where they put the watermelon in there, so it fits in there perfectly too. So if you have that in your stash, that would work perfectly. So here's a question for you. Should I use this or the bluebird? So the lemons or the bluebird for the center? Which one should we use for the center of this card? Bluebird or the lemons? Let's see. Oh, Bluebird. Okay, Bluebird it is, and that's convenient since I already took the dimensional backings off. So there we go. We've got those on there. And we're going to add the embellishments. I know I usually add the embellishments at the end, but I want you to be able to see the beginning and the end here. So the embellishments I'm going to be using are the Tinsel Gems 4-pack. I just love these, and I hadn't used them much, and then I started to use them, and as you can see, I'm having a good time with them. So I could use the blue or the yellow. I think I'll go with the blue. The yellow would have worked well with the lemons, but we'll go with the blue here. This is actually Blueberry Bushel, but it's close enough that, you know, the blues kind of all go together. I know, put it down, Lillian. You can put that anywhere, obviously, and it would look good. So we started with this, a very basic card, and gone to this. So isn't that a difference? Bonnie, you've used it a lot. Oh, I'd love to see what you've done too. So I just love that you have that kind of potential with this stamp set, that you can take it whatever direction you want. So I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this now, and we'll fasten that down. No one needs to know that we've got stamping underneath. Speaking of signs of spring, allergies for me are a sign of spring, and they've been starting to kick in. So I think that's another sign of spring. It's not my favorite sign of spring. I like tulips, I like green grass, all that kind of stuff. But some of it, the other comes with it too. So there we go. Just like that. And this stamp set even has a little flower image in it so that you can do the inside as well. So there is this card here, and it's done in Starry Sky. Here is the same card, and at this time I used the Basics embossing folder, so I used a darker blue, and this is Tranquil Tide blue. So let me just share with you. So these are the colors that are going to be retiring and that are pretty much guaranteed to be selling out right away, especially the re-inkers, because when you have a re-inker for your ink pad, you can use your ink pad for years. So make sure you have anything you might be wanting, order it sooner rather than later in these colors. So today we use Starry Sky on that one. We use Tranquil Tide on that one. And then here I stepped it up even more. So it's the basic idea, but I use this layer, the white layer here, I cut out with the perennial postage, and I added the ribbon underneath and did this. So I used the same embellishments here, but just the other color. And this is done in Orchid Oasis. So you can see these colors are just shining here. And then just in case you were wondering what the floral, layered floral one would look like, here's what it would look like as well. This is done in boho blue. So we did this one in the Time Worn Type. So there is what it would look like in the boho blue. So I hope that's inspired you a bit, but I just want to share one more thing. So let's move these to the side, because as I was uncovering these, there is one more thing we could have done with this card. This is going to be distracting for you. Let me get that out of the way. I did this, and I added a piece of ribbon, and we could have put it just so the ribbon comes in the two openings there. So that is another way of going with it. But like I said, you could bring in any image you want, partial or full, and make it fit. So I do have a couple of more cards that aren't going to be in the class, but just might make you think a little bit more. So here's this one for the Just a Note one. And this, of course, you recognize that paper from Celebration. Here, I used just the punch. I made a punch background and just layered it like that and used the word thanks from that set. You're inspired, Sharon? Oh, good, because I found that once I started to play, my brain just kept going and going and going, and it was just a little crazy. And I tried stamping on patterned paper, and on some patterned paper it looks good. This, I should have done it in black. So my solution was I cut it apart and did it the words this way. And then this has this as a little opening inside. So it's a good day to have a good day, and then going like that. And then I did it like that. So, you know, my brain's going 100 miles an hour. Then this one I have shared with you because it has this stamp here that I forgot to check. It might be back in stock. And I just used the punch again and used the layered floral embossing folder. So a very simple card, yet it just really came together. So if you're saying, ooh, I wish I could take your Filled with Happiness class, there's one more day to register. So you can go here and find out all the details. These are the projects. We are concentrating on the newest in colors. So that's what you're seeing there. Now, a few of these are fun folds and all kinds of wonderful things like that. So do make sure you check that out. I'll leave that there. And just a heads up, if you like to have a bargain, Stampin' Up! Has done something very few companies do. So the materials used to make some of their products have gone up in price, as have food and everything else, as we know. So they have warned us that the ink refills, the stamping blends, some of the specialty inks, the embossing pastes, the spots, the cardstock, some selected, that doesn't mean all, so it just means some. The Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines and plates, punches, the storage, some of the tools, some of the adhesives, they are going to see a price increase. So if you like to take advantage of a lower price, that would be something to check out as well. So that's just a heads up. So I know it's been short and sweet tonight, but that's the type of project you can make with this Filled with Happiness stamp set. And I hope that's inspired you to have a little fun with this, or maybe another stamp set. Maybe it's given you ideas for going through the catalog and inserting different images with stamp sets that you have. I've just had so much fun with this. In fact, I had to make myself stop. So hope you've enjoyed tonight. Thanks for joining me. And remember, if you need anything, you can go to here or contact me, and my current hostess code is right here. So thank you, everybody. Take care and bye-bye.